kimora Lee Simmons here with us on the couch, sort of like underground at the Dubai Mall. Can I get a round of applause, please? Thank you. No. What happens if I said it was? Would anything change?
My energy level.
Okay.
Because it's live, so
Okay.
yeah, I would want to be screaming with you. But if they're not, if it's recorded,
Yeah.
you can do the screaming.
Okay. Well, it is recorded.
Yeah, if it was live, I'd be like, woo!
Well, pretend it's live. I want you to pretend it's live. Welcome to the UAE. Welcome to Dubai.
Thank you.
Been here before?
Yes.
What do you think of the place?
I love it. It's so beautiful. It's decadent.
What do you tell your friends that have no idea about the Middle East or Dubai? What do you say to your friends?
Well, you know what? Believe it or not, this wasn't in my talking points. It's like, what is she gonna say?
Okay.
A lot of people know it, even though it wasn't actually done in Dubai, but they said it was Dubai from Sex and the City.
Of course.
Which was actually, I think, Abu Dhabi.
It was Abu Dhabi, but then I think shot some in Morocco.
So when you say that to people, at least in my, my field, that's already very much fashion, lifestyle, luxury, women, beautiful, so I think they kind of get it. And I feel like myself as well as my followers, we kind of live that life, right? It's kind of globe-trotting, jet-setting, Sex in the City.
Your followers.
I'm married. I'm not sexing in the city, but it's a phrase.
That's
a movie.
Yes,
I like how you looked at that.
That's my babe.
I know, that's what I'm saying, just to make sure.
Can we talk about your babe?
No.
Oh, you brought it.
I know, because I'm just telling you to say hi. But
Hi, babe.
He's a banker. He's shy.
Don't be shy.
But you can jump in if you want to be like, woo!
I'm the shy banker.
Aww.
Even though you did say you were going to be cheering.
Very cool, very cool. DSS you're here with as well, Dubai Summer Surprises, which is awesome stuff. When you talk about fashion and you're a pioneer in the industry and you've been in it since I think the age of 13, I remember hearing earlier
Probably
on.
a little younger, but yeah.
Yeah, 10, was it 10 now?
Probably 11 or 12 locally in my hometown of St. Louis, and then I was discovered by Karl Lagerfeld at Chanel at 13, which was only just a couple of years ago for me.
Of course. At the age of 13, I mean, the family, were they like, should we really do this? You're 13 years old,
Yeah, we did a lot of things then, a couple of years ago.
Sure.
That is really not probably done now. But I was from St. Louis, and it's a very small town, and it was about getting out and expanding your mind. And my mom is a single mom, working mom. So I think, I was very awkward growing up, and I think this was my little chance to pursue my dream, and it was sort of something I didn't even know was a dream. It just became that way. Like, you're that weird, ugly duckling kid, and you have a good look. You're exotic.
Okay.
We can do something with that.
Yeah.
So now when I hear, you have such a special look. But it translates really to mean beautiful. Now I know that.
I got called ugly. I'm still ugly. What happened?
No. Exotic.
Exotic.
I like
But for a lot of women, especially here in the Middle East, right? I say we, even though I'm not, but we're exotic.
Yeah.
And that's a look, and it's different. It's something special. It's not like you're run-of-the-mill, cut from the same cloth. And so I learned at a young age to embrace that. But just before that, it was probably the bane of my existence. It was awful. It was different. It was too different. It wasn't blonde hair, blue-eyed. It was...
You were bullied a little bit growing up?
A lot of it.
So for people that, I guess, who have been bullied before, what do you have to the younger ones that are probably listening to this right now, who are at school or at college and they may not fit in?
I never fit in. That was the whole point of what I was saying. I never fit in. I didn't look like anyone else. I'm from this small town. It's very much landlocked, except for the Mississippi or the Missouri River. It was, but I think it's about taking your adversity and turning it into something that works for you. I was very much bullied and tormented because of all those things. I looked different. My hair was different. My skin, my eyes, my nose. It just wasn't your typical run-of-the-mill. And kids can be very cruel at a young age. Very cruel. They would say such mean things and chase me down the hall and try to beat me up. I'd be running for my life. So I think it's about taking adversity and making it work for you and understanding that you are special. And for me, it took someone like Karl Lagerfeld, who's an icon in the industry, even to this day. He's literally one of the greats. But it took someone like him to kind of pluck me out of obscurity and say, this is the face of the future. And that face really represents the world, because it's very much, a melting pot, and it's very much all how we look. We could be related.
Yeah,
we could be,
exactly.
So it's I think it's about embracing that and understanding and accepting yourself and accepting your differences. and knowing that one day it'll be okay, but you don't believe that when you're 13 years old.
Sure.
And just run if they're scary, run.
But you're a pioneer in fashion. You're absolutely gorgeous. You gave like kids like me hope, as you were saying. We could be like, you know, because it's like when we look at the big screen, we don't. I never saw faces like me before. You know, it's different. And now you're a mom, and your kids. I believe one of them is a teenager now, right?
Mingli is 14.
Yeah.
Aoki is 11, almost 12, and Kenzo's 5.
So what do you then pass on as the fashionista, but then still the mom to your kids? Do they help you now when you're in your fashion ventures and stuff? Is it different?
They help me a lot. My kids are very opinionated, very much into fashion. They're very independent in their personalities. They have a very strong sense of business and entrepreneurialism, and you know, they want to do things. My little 11-year-old just went to the park the other day, Coldwater Canyon Park, and she tries to sell drinks. I said, the cops are going to come and shut you down. You don't have a permit. She's like, well, I'm just going to do this until. I said, okay, well, if you're just going to do it, when they do shut you down, make sure you have a good attitude and say, officer, I didn't know. Meanwhile, I'm coaching you. We clearly knew. So I think, you know, and they help me with everything. They're very opinionated when it comes to how I should dress, how they want to dress. One is a little more, the teenager, a little more rock and rolly, punk, mix and match everything. The 11-year-old is more princess, very much lady. She wants her poofy dresses that are, you know, but they're really dynamic kids. I love them. They're so crazy. They're super smart.
Do you take their input, like with KLS, which is coming out in the fall? Did you take a little piece
Always,
of kind of?
always. And you know, for me, like I've been doing this. It's not my first line. It's like my 10th line, you know. So always they've been there, and even people who know me from Life in the Fab Lane or House of Fab or Party Fabulous, these various shows, they always see my kids around me. Aoki can actually cut and drape. She can draw a pattern, make her own pattern. Draping is something really interesting because it's like you take a piece of anything raw fabric, nothing, a scrap. I started because I was being called scraps, and you tuck it and fit it, and you can make like a gown. That's draping. I don't drape very well. She can drape.
Wow.
So they have like talents, and they're really just, you know, unique kids, and they love fashion. Even though I think they're a little more nerdy, a little more brainiacs. I think
That's okay.
she wants to be a banker now.
Is draping anything like wearing a sari?
No.
Yes,
Because it's
Draping
pretty
is
Indian.
like
She's getting
wearing a
married in
sari.
16. She's getting married like in about 2 weeks, and we all went sari shopping the other day.
draping is like wearing a sari, and more importantly, it's if you put the sari on and then it starts to fall away, how will you tuck it? And then as the night goes on, if you're having a little fun, and
You gotta keep tucking
how
it.
will you tuck it then when it falls? So draping is exactly how you wear a sari, which is also even you can go from the wedding to the resort to the draping is the sari.
It's very cool.
Except you will not wear a sari.
I'm not allowed to wear one.
You're not.
What am I wearing?
You're wearing a sherwani or a kurta pajama, but we'll get to that later.
Kurta pajama.
You know a kurta pajama?
No, it's pants
I don't know what either.
It's like pants
with the
with the top,
yeah.
with like a long
And
top.
it's like a lighter.
Yeah, it's got embroidery
Fabric,
and all that stuff on it. See, there you go.
It's very cool. Galleries Lafayette and DSS, we're happy to have you down here
Thank
in
you,
Dubai.
I'm so
I think
excited.
we're excited. You got a big
Galleries
crowd.
Lafayette sent me so many things, by the way. So many designers have sent me things. I've gotten so many bags and makeups and dresses and...
You're just rubbing this in? Are you
No,
just...
no, no! I'm
Like,
saying
what are you?
thank you!
Like-
Oh, okay. I just thought you were telling
I thought
us.
you were going to
saying
share.
thank you. I'm saying thank you.
No, I know.
Sure,
No. Thank you for being on Virgin Radio. Bye. Round of applause.